Hey everybody, Patrick here. Today I'm going to review a game of Oscilio against Jarl. Jarl is the newest hero to come into the CC format. We just released through an armory deck last week, so I have a handful of games against him, but I do have a pretty good idea of the game plan that I'm trying to play out, as well as the cards to look out for from the Jarl side and the cards that I want to play on my side. Running the big spell package into them, which is a potent sideboard, and I think that it lines up really well against the current build of Jarl that I'm seeing. So we'll take a look at the equipment first. Running the standard loadout with Aether bindings, just battle worn 1. Hopefully the amp is relevant, but I'm also fine to just leave this on the board for a while to block out like a CNC if they're running that, or just not give them the -1 counter on the piece of equipment. Next, running Flash of Brilliance. This could be a Crown of Providence, but I do like the, I guess I'll call it the high roll potential of having our Flash of Brilliance pair up with our combo turn. It can be a little bit tricky because they do have equipment destruction. So sometimes our Greaves are gone and we're still sitting on our Flash of Brilliance, and then it's just a Blade Break 1 cycle a card, which is fine enough. We're also running Tunic in this matchup, the only chess piece that I'm running right now, at least in this list. And I'm hoping to get something like 2 or 3 activations off of this. This can line up really well on our combo turn. It can line up really well if they ever have a, if they're running Corn at peak, I can pay for the 1 resource there. Just a really good card in this matchup, I think. Next, we're running Lightning Greaves. It's just our combo piece. It's battle worn 1. This is, expect this to be the first piece of equipment that they destroy with their item destruction, or their equipment destruction effects. And try to get it off sooner than later if you find a good combo turn. And finally, we're running Volzar. Conveniently, this cannot be destroyed by equipment destruction, which is great. And it just plays into our main game plan of big spell. We want to pump this up, 2 or 3 times and then shoot off a big spell for like 8 damage. Pretty awkward for the Jarl player to deal with. Going down to the deck list though, I'm bringing in 12 cards. So bringing in 3 Fry. This is just a 0 for 3, no block, but it is lightning, so it will pump up the Volzar. It's very convenient. We're bringing in Swell Tidings as our arcane payoff, or arcane payoff 10 through 12. This is just a 2 cost, 5 power essentially, 3 block. The surge effect is nice when it's when it actually goes through, but I'm not expecting it to. I just like this as or I'm testing it out as a source of big arcane damage. Then we're bringing in 3 high voltage. This just has amp 1. It's lightning. It's an instant. It's blue. Basically, every single quality about this is great for this game plan. And finally, we're bringing in 3 Sigil of Conductivity. This is basically a card that just floats in between the main and the side pretty fluidly. In these slower matchups, I like it because it's blue, and especially when I'm running the big spell against against faster matchups, sometimes I'll take it out. So it's basically like the pseudo sideboard card. And that's the board, so let's hop into the game. All right, here we are in game. I'm playing against one of my locals, actually. This is Chris. I think he's been in a video before. He's been playing Guardian for a couple years now. Like every single Guardian that's been out, he's played. So this can be a good rep. He's really excited about Jarl and what this deck is, bringing back to the format. But I win the die roll, choosing to go first. With Big Spell, I like going first just because I can do exactly this. There's a really good chance that I'm just going to ping for some amount of Arcane. If not, I just get to set up an Arsenal card and then go at it again next turn. Against Jarl, there's also a chance that he just can't play out his hand efficiently. And in this case, he's coming in with a 3-card 8, which is, it's fine. It's serviceable, but I don't really care. My hand is better on offense. There's no target for Mangle, so I'm fine to just take 8 and play out my hand. It's pretty good on offense. I get to go Entwine Lightning, then Gone to Flash, Blink, and then Comet, Storm, Volzar, pitching the current funnel. So it's going to be 4, 4, and then 7, I believe. That's assuming there's no interaction that he throws in. So there, blocking with the Unforgetting. I don't have a -1 counter, so it doesn't trigger. Okay, so he's going to block with the Stalagmite. That's fine by me, because I'm just going to blink, pitching current funnel. This Stalagmite does block 2 damage off of the Volzar being activated. So it's okay usage of it. And I guess there's a little bit of a mind game, or a strategy where you want to use your Stalagmite earlier in order to get your summon online. Yeah, ping him for 4 off the Comet Storm because he only has AB1. Okay, so he's just going to Coronet peek me. That's fine. I think I should just pitch to the Destructive. Yeah. Pitch Destructive. Then go Electrostatic. Gone on a Flash. And Arsenal my Etchings. Discard's fine too. I don't think it matters too much. We're probably not making it to second cycle. I think I can just force the game before we get to second cycle, honestly. Unless it's like a super defensive deck, which I don't think it's going to be. Then I think I'm okay to just, force it on first cycle. Okay, those are great cards for him to block with. Seeing the Felling and the Oakenhold out of hand is awesome. And he's also blocking with Gauntlet, so I'm assuming he has a card he wants to decompose. All right, that's fine. Coronet, I'll just use my Tunic. He's at a really weak start here. This is, I think, showing the weakness of Jarl. Like his first, 2 turns, or I guess like his first 3 turns, right? Mangle into Coronet is like super bad. That's a do nothing. I've managed to get like a good amount of chip damage. I've closed the gap of my starting life being, 36. So yeah, really weak start. Here, I just don't want to show him the Channel Valley. I want that to be a reaction speed. Gotcha. I am looking to just pitch the Blink, though, to Eclectic. Hopefully, I can get a draw off the Channel Valley, and like it's something that I can play with the Eclectic. If not, I'm okay to just Arsenal it. My whole deck is great arsenals, so there's nothing that I can really whiff on. Yep, reactions. I will hit him with the Channel Valley. He has Rootbound. That's fine. So he's keeping the Oakenhold Grave. I guess he didn't really have a choice. There's only 2 Earth there, right? Yeah, what am I saying? Yep, and then just come in with the Eclectic. Also, what am I saying? I have the Etchings in Arsenal, so I don't need to get a target. I just want a good Arsenal. Yep. Gonna cover it up, trying to sort of call my bluff on not having an Arcane spell. Fortunately, it was not a bluff. I just get to go Volzar, Etchings. There's no target for Etchings. That's fine. I still get to just draw a card. And he's going to spend his Tunic in order to AB1. I don't care. I still draw a card. And it's a Sigil of Brilliance. Awesome. Arsenal that. Okay, so it was a Felling in his arsenal. That makes sense. That kind of explains why he IP'd himself on the first couple turns and why it was so awkward. He was just waiting for the opportunity to actually decompose. Here, I think I'm good to, I was going to say tuck one of the arcane spells and then just block with the Gone Flash, the spell, and then somersault it back. My hand is still good. I get to go Gone Flash, then Sigil of Brilliance, arsenal the either drawn card or Gone Flash. Turn after this is going to be potentially a combo turn. So yeah, just keeping that in mind. Just because my Tunic's coming up, I'll have a Sigil of Brilliance on the board. So I'm looking to maybe combo off next turn. But if not, I can just wait. I think I'm okay just playing patient with this deck or playing patient against this deck because they don't really pressure me too much. As long as I don't give them like a lot of room and they just like build up, tempo and, draw really well, I think I'm okay to just, relax, sit back, slowly chip them down, play like a mid-range game into them kind of thing, combo at some point. Okay. So I played around this actually by putting the Flittering Charge in Arsenal. I think it's really heads up. I hadn't seen any plows yet. I hadn't seen any CNCs yet. Or maybe I saw one CNC actually. Maybe he blocked with it. Forget. Either way, I just don't want to be soft to Arsenal Disruption. Felling is going to be Felling, but we've already seen 2, so that's fine. And this hand is a combo hand, or at least it's good enough to be a combo hand. We're at the midway point of the game, kind of, where if I just get like a serviceable combo hand, even with disruption like this plow, I'm fine to just send it. I don't need to find something better. I know I was just saying that I should be patient, but honestly, this is a good enough combo hand. It's going to have disruption with the Destructive Aether Tide, so I have that. And I draw into another instant. Awesome. And honestly, even if I drew a bad card, I could still kind of like back out of my combo by just playing out sigils and Gone to Flash and stuff like that, right? I can still kind of back out a little bit. I do need to keep in mind that he has Stalagmite, so I think I should pitch a card for my Greaves and hold on to my Tunic. Okay, so there's actually a cool interaction here. I think I'm reading the card. And there's a check that happens on this trigger. So if I, in response, break my equipment with the -1, I think it fails the check and he doesn't get the mangle. I need to double check the ruling if that's actually how it goes. Because I think on Talishar it doesn't work, but in person I need to, like, in actual rules, I need to double check. Either way, I use my Tunic. I think I should have pitched my Sigil of Connectivity just because I'm probably going to have to pitch that to Stalagmite anyways. But we'll see. Either way, bouncing the Gone to Flash. Great. Play it out again. I'm expecting him to block with the Stalagmite. It just taxes me a card. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I shouldn't have used my Tunic. I should have pitched the Connectivity. Because I want the Lightning on the board, and I want my Destructive Aether Tide to be the payoff here. So, that's my justification. Yeah, I guess I'll keep that in mind, like, in the next turn or two, seeing if I should have, what the difference of my Tunic being up would have mattered or not. And here, I'm good to just bounce the Gone to Flash, playing the Sigil, pitching the Sigil, and then going Volzar, Destructive Aether Tide. Hopefully I get a good Arsenal target, like hopefully it's another Felling or something like that. If it's like an Oakenold and he has like a Crumble in hand, that would just be like game winning. So we'll see though. We'll see any second. Because he can't stop it unless he has Oasis. Yep, hit him for 5. And it was a Blizzard. Okay. And I'm just happy to Arsenal my Gone to Flash and see what he has. Summit coming in for 6. And it is live because I have exposed head and legs. Here, I think I should cycle. I should cycle my Valley, I believe. I want to draw a 2-block. Okay, a 3 block's even better, because now I get to go block with Eclectic, and, well, block with 2 Eclectic, and then Somersault them back. That's a really good cycle. Somersault being a 0 for 6. Pretty good. Being a 0 for 6 that stops an on-hit. The order doesn't matter here. Maybe I should be popping my Sigil first, or my Brilliance first, just in case I draw a spell or something like that, and I want to pop my Aether Binding. I guess that's a consideration, so that's probably what I was thinking. Yeah, cycling the high voltage. It doesn't do anything. It's just a blue, so I don't need the blue. So I might find something better. Okay. Gone to Flash, has go again. I need to make sure that I actually resolve it. Good. Because I need the action point. And then, yeah, I guess current funnel. There's some thought to playing around like Blizzard. But honestly, if he plays out a Blizzard here, I'm kind of okay to just pitch 2 Eclectics and then swing the Gone to Flash. I think. If I had the Tunic up, actually no, that wouldn't work. I would have to Arsenal the Gone to Flash. What am I saying? If I had the Tunic up, then I could have played around that. So I guess that's exposing myself to a counterplay by not having my Tunic from the previous turn. But here, I just see that he's kind of, he wants to hold on to cards, right? He wants to probably swing Summit here and holding 2 cards. So that's why I swung the Gone to Flash. Ignore that, though, because he had a Weakest Link. So he just wanted to play a 2-card hand. I think it's a little bit, it's not great, right? I can just play around like Weakest Link fairly easily. I either cycle stuff away or I just play out my instance. And in this case, I do both, right? I cycle my Blink and then I just play out the Electrostatic. I'm just denying him the card draw, even though he can just draw really bad cards. Or he can sometimes draw just bad cards. I don't want to give it to him, just in case. And my hand's good on offense, so I'm going to keep it. mean, there's like always a thought to block with cards, right? I could have blocked with the Entwine in the current funnel, but I'm presenting 10 on offense off those 3 cards. So I'd rather just present the offense than, you know, block, especially when he's at the life total he is. Okay, coming with Blizzard, cool. I'm fine to just, yeah, pitch the current funnel. Fine by me. That fully pays for the Blizzard and then also pays for the Frostbite. So Entwine, Fry, and then Flittering. I just want to keep the pressure up, slowly bleed him to death. Eventually he's going to be in kill threshold for Arcane. That's the game plan. He could maybe try to pivot with a Coronet Peak, right? If he like catches me on turn where I don't have Tunic, like this coming turn. So if he blocks the Flittering and then he goes Coronet Peak, and then I'm playing a 3-card hand, that could be the way to get back into it. Never mind, he's blocking with Coronet Peak. Okay, this better be a good hand from him. That is not. I think he should have blocked with the Channel Lake and then used the Hypothermia on the Coronet Peak. Here, I'm just going to kill him. There's, again, I'm considering if he has Oasis Respite, but I think that doesn't matter. If I kill him this turn or kill him next turn or the turn after, I think I'm just in a commanding position. Here, I don't need to try to overkill. I can just throw 5, hold on to the Sigil of Brilliance, and maybe play that out. We'll see. See what he does. Yeah, that's game. All right, 5 was good enough. GG. Here we are in the post game. I just want to shout out my opponent, Chris. Like I said, he's one of my locals. I really appreciate him hopping in and playing a game. It's good to get quality reps, right? I know that Chris is a good Guardian player. I know that he's really trying to make Jarl work, and he's, trying to learn the deck and trying to develop the deck and push it forward. So I really appreciate him hopping in and giving me a rep. I do think that this matchup is really tough for Jarl. I think that we have a lot of tools to beat up Jarls. And honestly, I've had sort of like 2 types of games against Jarl. We've had the one we just saw here where we managed to combo at some point, and then, or at least like under our choosing, and then we just bleed them out with our breakpoints and our arcane spells, and they just kind of like flounder around and we beat them. There's also games I've had where they managed to kill both my Tunic and my Lightning Greaves early. So it really just, one, it stopped me from actually comboing, which is a big deal. But then also just stopped my value engine of Tunic, because you saw how many times I used it. I even misplayed and like didn't get another activation. But I think I could have used that like 3 or 4 times if the game kind of dragged on even further, right? It's a really big deal to have Tunic in that matchup, I believe. So when it's off the board, the game just gets rough. But yeah, I think that's a little more difficult for them to line up, because they need to have like their equipment destruction show up early, and they need to have me not just, plow them over, like just bowl them over, right? Which is tough. I think it's really difficult for that to all line up, and maybe as the deck, like the Jarl deck kind of refines, maybe it'll turn into more like that, and it'll have more of a different options against us, but I'm really happy with how we play into them. Specifically, I really like the big spell configuration. This loadout feels very tight. I know it's just a bunch of like 3s, but I'm really happy with how it plays. Being able to play 18 blues into an ice deck feels great. Swell Tidings is tested well. And yeah, really happy with how the deck is going. Again, just want to shout out Chris. Thank you so much for giving me a rep.